Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to learn the topic fractions and decimals. This is the topic of the class 7 in mathematics subject. Dear students, we are already last year learned a little bit about fractions and decimals. In this year also, you are going to learn about fractions and decimals more than that previous year what you learned. So today we are going to discuss about the definition of fractions, examples, types of fractions, examples for each, and simplest form of a fraction. So last year you have learned about fractions. Can anyone define what is fraction or what are fractions? Yes, anyone? Okay, fine. Fraction, which means it is a part of a whole. Fraction is a part of a whole. For example, consider the circle. This is what? What is the name of this geometrical figure? Circle. Consider the circle. We treat this circle as a whole. We treat this circle as a whole. In this circle, I divide this circle into 4 equal parts. What I will do? I am going to divide the circle into 4 equal parts. Next, out of 4 equal parts, I shade one part of it. So come to the point fraction. Fraction is a part of a whole. So means here, this is a circle. We treated it as a whole. I divided this circle into 4 equal parts, and I shaded out of 4 one part I shaded. This one we written as 1 divided by 4. This is an example of fraction. Fraction means it is a part of whole, and fraction has 2 parts. One is numerator. This 4 is called denominator. So what numerator represents? What denominator represents? So denominator represents total number of parts in a whole. Denominator represents total number of parts in a whole. And this numerator, that denotes number of parts we have taken or considered. Here see, we treated this circle as a whole. I divided this circle into 4 equal parts. We divided this circle into 4 equal parts. That 4 we divided this circle into 4 equal parts. Now that 4 we write in the denominator. So means denominator represents total number of parts in a whole. Then numerator, out of 4 parts, I shaded only one part. That we should write in numerator. So means numerator represents number of parts we have taken out of 4. Number of parts we have chosen out of whole. So means fraction is a part of a whole. Fraction has 2 parts. One is numerator, the number which is above the line, that is called numerator, and the number which is below the line, that is called denominator. So general form of a fraction. General form of a fraction, that is fraction has numerator and denominator. Fraction has a numerator and denominator. Both numerator and denominator are natural numbers. Both numerator and denominator are natural numbers. This is what general form of a fraction. Understood? Clear? So what do you mean by fraction? Fraction is a part of a whole. See here, this is what? Whole. I divided this whole into 4 equal parts now. That 4 equal parts we should write in the denominator. Out of whole, how many we taken, that we should write in the numerator. Understood? So the examples of fractions are 2 by 3, 5 by 7, 9 by 8, 1 by 6, 2 whole, 3 by 8, so on. So what are these are all? These are the examples of fractions. So this is our basic introduction to fractions. Dear students, write a notes or take a screenshot of this video and write the notes later in your notebook. Now, the next types of fractions. Types of fractions. Just what we learned, the meaning and the parts of fraction. So now we are going to learn types of fractions. So first type is proper fraction. Proper fraction. Dear students, we have learned this about proper fraction in your previous classes. Can anyone give me the example for a proper fraction? Yes? Anyone? Yes, good. What is it? 3 by 4. Yes, is a fraction. Why it is called proper fraction, or what do you mean by proper fraction? Dear students, observe the fractions very carefully. This is called numerator. This is called denominator. What relationship do you find in numerator and denominator? we observe that in this fraction, numerator is smaller than denominator. So, in a fraction, if numerator is smaller than denominator, such fraction is called what? Proper fraction. Now, we will define the definition of proper fraction. A fraction in which numerator is greater than denominator. Numerator is greater than denominator. Such fractions are called proper fractions. For example, 3 by 4 is a proper fraction because numerator is smaller than, numerator is smaller than denominator. Here numerator is smaller than denominator. And 6 by 11 is an example for proper fraction. 1 by 7 is also an example for proper fraction. So dear students, these are the examples of proper fraction. So what we are learning? We are learning types of fractions. So the first type of fraction is proper fraction, a fraction in which numerator is smaller than the denominator. Observe the three fractions, numerators are smaller than the denominator. Such fractions are called proper fractions. Next, another type of fraction, that is improper fraction. Improper fraction. Yes, can anyone guess how an improper fraction is? If you learned last year, recall that all and give me an example for improper fraction, or can anyone define what is improper fraction? Yes? Yes, very good. What she said? 7 by 3. First of all, check it is a fraction or not. Yes, it has a numerator and denominator. Both numerator and denominator are natural numbers, so it is a fraction. In this fraction, numerator, that is greater than the denominator. So this is an example for improper fraction. Yes. Now we are going to define what is improper fraction. A fraction in which numerator is greater than the denominator. Numerator is greater than denominator. Such fractions are called improper fraction. Yes. Give me examples for improper fraction. Yes. Yes. Very good. That is what he said. He said 5 by 3. Yes. This is an example for improper fraction because numerator is greater than denominator. And is there any? Yes. Okay. What is it? 3 by 2. In this fraction also, numerator is greater than denominator. This is also an example for improper fraction. Now, 200 divided by 152. This is also an example for improper fraction because numerator is greater than the denominator. So like that we can write the examples of improper fractions. Students, can you tell me what is the difference between proper fraction and improper fraction? What is the difference? Yes, observe here. In proper fraction, numerator is smaller than the denominator. Here, in proper fraction, numerator is smaller than denominator. In improper fraction, numerator is greater than the denominator. In improper fraction, numerator is greater than the denominator. This is the main difference between proper fraction and improper fraction. Students, write the definitions, examples of proper and improper fractions, or take a screenshot of this video now. Now we are going to another type of fraction, that is mixed fraction. Okay. Yes, students, the third type of fraction is mixed fraction. What is mixed fraction? How it is like? If you learned last year, recall that and give me example for mixed fraction. Yes, anyone? Yes, okay. 5 whole 1 by 2. Very good. This is an example for mixed fraction. Why it is called mixed fraction? Mixed fraction means it is a mixture or it is a combination of a whole number and a proper fraction. A whole number along with a proper fraction is called another type of fraction, that is mixed fraction. Yes, students, mixed fraction means a fraction in which a combination of a whole number, and a proper fraction. Proper fraction is called mixed fraction. It is also a type of fraction, but it is a combination or it is a mixture of a whole number. There should be a whole number. Along with that whole number, there is a proper fraction. This is 1 by 2 is a proper fraction. So this combination of fraction is called mixed fraction. Yes, dear students, give me other examples for mixed fractions. Yes, 7 whole 5 by 9. Yes, this is an example for mixed fraction. 7 is whole number, 5 by 9 is proper fraction. It is the combination of a whole and a proper fraction together called mixed fraction. Is there any examples? Yes, 15 whole 7 by 11. Yes, this is also an example for mixed fraction. Dear students, we are learning The types of fractions. The first type is proper fraction. Second type is improper fraction. The third type is mixed fraction. In this mixed fraction, we have a fraction along a whole number as well as a proper fraction with it together called mixed fraction. Yes, other examples, anyone? Yes, write or say what you wrote in that page. 3 whole 1 by 6. Yes, this is also an example of mixed fraction. So dear students, in this way we can write many examples for mixed fraction. Keep in your mind that it has a whole number along with proper fraction. That should be proper fraction which has numerator less than denominator along with whole number. Total it is called mixed fraction. Understood? So the next type of fraction is like fractions. Like fractions. Students, like means same, similar. Two or more than two fractions are said to be like fractions. There is a condition. What is that condition? Recall that. If you learned last year, recall that. What are the like fractions? Or give me examples. Okay, now don't worry about it. I will clear that. Two or more fractions. Observe. 3 by 7, 5 by 7, 6 by 7, 1 by 7. How many fractions I wrote? I wrote 4 fractions. Observe these 4 fractions. What is the special in these 4 fractions? Just observe very carefully. Observe their numerators and denominators. Can you find any speciality in numerator and denominator? Yes? Very good. In these 4 fractions, they have same denominator. These 4 fractions have same denominator. So when 2 or more fractions have same denominator, such fractions are called like fractions. These are the examples for like fractions. Or consider here 5 by 3, 7 by 3, 9 by 11 by 3. Observe these 3 fractions. What is the special in these 3 fractions? These 3 fractions also have the same denominator. Such fractions we call as like fractions. So how we define like fractions? 2 or more fractions having same denominators. Having same denominators are called like fractions. Understood? These are the examples for like fractions. Okay, dear students. Now write down these definitions of mixed fraction and like fractions. Pause the video, write the notes, or take a screenshot of this video and write the notes later. Now, another type of fraction, that is unlike fractions. Unlike fractions. This is opposite to like fractions. How means in like fractions we found that the fractions which have same denominator, but in unlike fractions they have different denominators. Such fractions, such group of fractions are called unlike fractions. For example, 3 by 7, 5 by 9, 2 by 11. Observe the three fractions, auxiliary denominators, they are different. This has a denominator 7, this fraction has a denominator 9, this fraction has a denominator 11. So these three fractions have different denominators. Different denominators. So these three fractions or the group of these fractions are goes to the category unlike fractions because they have different denominators. And see here, when the fractions have same denominator, they are called like fractions. When they have different denominators, they are called unlike fractions. Or consider 7 by 6, 7 by 3, 7 by 9. Observe these fractions. I take one more. 7 by 5. Here I wrote 4 fractions. What is the special in this? All the 4 fractions have same numerator but different denominators. So don't bother about numerators. Observe only denominators. While observing the denominators, we find that these 4 fractions have different denominators. Different denominators. These fractions are also called unlike fractions. If they have same numerator but different denominators, these 4 fractions are also goes to under the category of unlike fractions. So my dear students, here the thing is that like fractions and unlike fractions, don't bother about numerator, observe only denominators. In the fractions have same denominators, such fractions are called like fractions. If the fractions have different denominators, such fractions are called unlike fractions. Now, 2 or more fractions having different denominators. Such fractions are called what? Unlike fractions. Dear students, write the notes or pause the video, write the notes or take a screenshot. Then also we can write the notes with the help of that photo. So, my dear students, today we learned about the topic fractions and decimals. In that topic, we learned definition of fractions. That is, fraction is a part of a whole. So, fraction is a part of a whole. Fraction has 2 parts. One is numerator. Fraction has 2 parts. One is numerator, another one is denominator. Both numerator and denominators are natural numbers. That is general form of fraction. And later we learned the types of fractions. The first type of fraction is proper fraction. The proper fractions are fractions in which numerator is smaller than denominator. Such fractions are called proper fractions. Next we learned improper fractions. These are the fractions in which numerator is greater than the denominator. Such fractions are called improper fractions. Another special type of fractions we learned, that is mixed fraction. It is a combination of a whole number and a proper fraction, that is called mixed fraction. Then we learn like fractions and unlike fractions. Two or more fractions having the same denominator are called like fractions. Unlike fractions means the fractions which have different denominators are called unlike fractions. So today, students, we learned the basic concepts about fractions and types of fractions. Tomorrow we are going to deal about simplest form of a fraction. So up to that or till, you have to study these all types of fractions and by heart this and take in notes. Hi students, tomorrow we'll meet you again.